because now we're on the recording. Say it again. So what is shading in drawing?
I think shading is when you like put some shade in the objects you draw, so it looks like it's 3D or that it has different angles.
Right. So the shade, is that the part that's closer to the light, or is that the part that's away from the light?
Away from the light.
Excellent, you guys, great description. That's absolutely fabulous. So shading, which is what people talk about all the time to make your drawing look 3D, is when we show areas, when we make darker the areas that move away from the light. So today we're going to practice like some basic shapes, and you might recognize, which will be very helpful as we start going into drawing, like more real subjects. So we're going to start just by simply drawing a circle. So we're going to draw a circle. Oh, what's going on here? Here, let me bring this down here. Maybe that'll be better. There we go. That's a little bit better. So with shading, we're going to start by drawing a circle. So go ahead and draw a circle with me. And then I'm going to put this circle on a table, which means I'm basically going to draw a line here and here, right? If I could see them all the way through this circle, they would line up together. So there is the wall, here is the table. And then that is the cast shadow. That's the shadow of the circle. So this is what we would call, you can even label it if you want to, cast shadow. This is the actual sphere. Okay, and then do you remember, anyone, our discussion of value? Remember what is value in drawing? Anybody remember? The lightness or darkness of any color, right? So if 1 is white and 5 is the darkest value, so 1 is the lightest value, 5 is the darkest value, 2, 3, and 4 are gradually getting darker. See that? See how this gets gradually darker, right? There are 5 values there. So go ahead and add a value of about around the sphere of about, let's say, a 3. Go around the sphere. And then we're going to make our cast shadow pretty dark, like a 4 or a 5. Let's say a 4, because underneath here is going to be the darkest part. It gets a little bit lighter as it comes out. So you notice I went a little dark here, so I'm actually taking my eraser and kind of scrubbing back. This is a good technique for drawing. See how I'm scrubbing back? So this is like a 3, this is like a 4, that's a 5. And if you want to, you can even do kind of a 3-ish for the table too. It's a little hard to see. Here. I'll make it a little darker. There we go. I'm going to take a picture of this and send this across. And then maybe you guys can take pictures. And send to me what you've got. And let me send over, because it looks, I think there's somebody, one more person. Maybe I can grab it this way. Let's see. I think it looks like there's one more person who's trying to jump in. Goodness. Let's see. Hey, Polly and Fabulous. Also, go ahead and like cover up this whole, right? So there's a good separation between, there's not really a white space at all. Get it all dark between the ceiling and the table. Excellent. Makiko, good. Good job, you guys. I'm still trying to figure out how to get the Zoom link across the Zoom, this WhatsApp thread. So hang on. It's just hard for me to grab it from my phone. Goodness, I know I've sent it. Let's see. I think I can grab it this way. All right, and now we have the Zoom link in the WhatsApp thread. So if anybody needs it. Is there we go. Okay, good. Okay, so anybody know what direction the light's coming from? There's one thing that gives us a hint. What direction is the light coming from? I know we haven't started putting the light on the sphere yet, but where is the light coming from?
Upper left.
Upper left, right. How do you know?
Oh, because the shade is should be the opposite.
The shadow is going this way, right? Away, exactly. So the light is coming here. It's bouncing off here. And you know how there's always that like kind of highlight that's very white? Where the light, the closest area to where the light hits this area is the highlight. And then this is kind of the general light area, this area here. Okay. So the core shadow is here. And then there's a kind of over here. If you make this like a 2, this is what we call the reflected light. So that means light's coming from another source. It'll become more apparent why we put this in later. Here. I'll take a picture of this so you can really see it. There we go. So there's this little kind of two crescent right before the edge of the light turns away. That's reflected light. So we have just added in, sort of identified our highlights, our light area. Yeah, you might want to, who is 86-186-0049-7127? Whose number is that? Is that you, Dominique?
Yeah, that's me. Sorry, what did you say?
So you might want to move that highlight so it's out of your sphere, kind of on the outside. You don't want it in there.
That's Sammy's.
Oh, Sammy's. All right, Sammy, you might want to move your, that's fabulous. You might want to move your word out of here. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, good job, by the way. And then basically, as the, I think the best way to do this is like this. I'm going to just draw it like this. As the sphere starts to turn away from the light, it gets a little bit darker, like a 2.5 or maybe a 3. It's a little bit darker. We call this a halftone. And that's basically just because it's basically halfway between light and dark. And then it gets darker in here. This is like a 4. And it gets dark. Almost to the very edge of the circle. Remember, there's this tiny little halftone area, or tiny little reflected light area, but mostly so essentially we go, you can see this gradual transition from light, there's a highlight from light to medium to dark. And then right before the circle turns around, the sphere turns around, there's this little sort of lighter edge. So this is how almost all rounded objects hit the light. So if you're drawing an orange, this is how it looks. If you're drawing a ball, this is how it looks. If you're drawing a vase, well, vase has a slightly different thing going on. It's a little bit more complex. So we'll get into that in a second. But the key here is that there's a pretty strong transition between, and if you wanted to, you could even make this slightly, and it's tricky because you want it to be lighter. Yeah, best to just keep it light. And then there'll be this bright white of the highlight. The key is to have good contrast between your light, your medium, or your halftone, and your darker areas. So this is what happens when light hits an object and when you're showing that on a 2-dimensional space. Okay. So move your highlight word over here. And then here's your light, here's your medium, and here's your dark. Good job, by the way. Guys, and let's see how that goes. You'll see this is a little bit trickier than you think. send a picture over. See, wait, here. Send a better picture over. So there is this kind of lighter. So it's lighter here than the cast shadow. This is dark, like the cast shadow. So basically what this means is the main light source might be coming from here, but there's usually another light source outside or in the room. And so as the sphere turns away from us to the darkest part, that reflected light bounces off this edge. So it's always there. When you learn to see it, it's interesting. When you learn to see it, you'll really see it in almost everything rounded. And another thing I'd like you to concentrate on as you're doing your shading is to make your transitions within your sphere to be soft. So what does that mean? That means this is a hard line, this line around the edge of the sphere. But this line from medium, from light to medium, is a little bit softer. There's definitely a difference between here and here, but I don't have a hard line. It's a little bit softer. And the same here. I want this to be a little bit of a softer transition. It's what we call a soft edge, right? Hard edges around the edge here. This soft edge, there's still an edge between lighter and darker, and you can see it because this is lighter and this is darker, lighter and darker. But it's a little bit softer. So practice making that kind of a softer, it's a little bit more ragged, right? It's not as strong and as harsh as this strong line. So practice that. Let's see. Okay, Pauline, so what I'm going to tell you is that's this line that you've got right here is a hard line. I want you to erase it. She's like, I know you were going to tell me that. Yeah, that's what I read. I knew you were going to tell me that. And also this reflected light is a little bit too big and too light, right? It should be more like a 2. See how mine's kind of fading a little bit? Ooh, Makiko, nice. Makiko, so you've got a little bit of hardness here. These lines that go horizontally across like this read as hard. So I want you to erase them and create a softer transition. Otherwise, very nice. Maybe it's hard to show like the absolute reflected light. And if you want to, you can make your wall shadow a little bit darker. I love this lesson. This is absolutely one of my favorite lessons. I make everybody do it once a year, no matter how often they've been studying with me. And I think it really helps, right, to understand how shadows work. All right, so there's your sphere. Once we finish with the sphere, we're going to try drawing a cube. But take your time on the sphere. start to learn what your pencil can do. Let's see. Better, Pauline. Take your finger and your eraser and kind of see how I'm scrubbing along the edge. So one thing I'm doing is I'm lightening here. You still have this line that's looking like this. And that's a hard line. We don't want that. Get rid of that. This is a soft edge. There we go. And even here, sometimes I use my finger to kind of rub on the edge between a light and a medium. That helps. But really, these verticals, it helps to make your eraser kind of go like kind of not this way, but sort of like this. And this little dot is really going to read as a white flash. So it should be big. It shouldn't be like a circle, like a little dot there, right? You want it as a big white spot. Hang on just a second. Come on, sweetheart. Here you go. Buzzy, here we go. Oh, it went. Okay. Did you hear that? Did you guys hear that really pathetic meowing? That's a little feral cat that comes into my studio at night to be friendly. Here, wait. I'll show him. I'll show him. Okay, ready? There he is. There he is, eating. He's a good little cat. There we go. Okay. Okay. When you think you've got it, when you've really got those, I said spend a minute working on those edges. We're not in a rush here, right? I'm going to do that assignment right. Who feels like they have it? You all have it? You want to go on to the next one? You want to go on to drawing a cube? And shading a cube? Let's try it. Okay. We're going to start with a straight line down like this. You remember how to draw a cube. Cubes kind of go up on either side like that. And on the top, two. So start like that. Uh-oh, I hope I didn't. I might have put that up a little too close. Move it down a little bit. It's not so close to my other object. down like this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not the only way to draw a cube, of course. There's more than one way. And then these are straight lines down. Okay. Connecting. And then here, I remember learning how to draw. These go across and meet. Like that. Does anybody want me to do that again? Or have you got it? Let's see if you've got your
Yes,
cube.
please.
All right. One straight line down. And then 2 lines, straight lines angled up, one on either side. Then 2 lines on the top of that first straight line, also angled up. Right? So straight line, straight line, straight line, straight line, straight line. Like a guy jumping with his arms out and his legs up.
This is
All right.
surprisingly hard to get it straight.
It's hard to get it straight. Yeah, all of this is good practice, right? And then these are straight up and down. And then these are angled. So send yours in when you think you've got one that you're happy with. I'll send you mine. Yeah. Yeah, you'll find that it's easy to make your angles kind of too wide, right? Like things go out. So the top of your cube will look weird. Yeah, so Makiko, I would have you, this should be a shorter thing. So let's see. Your angles are kind of going up like this. Can you see that? So bring this one in that way a little bit. Nip that. Bring that in. This is your line. I want you to bring that line here. Just do your best, you guys. Honestly, it's practice. Oh, Dominique, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Nice shading. Send it over. How's everybody's weekend been, by the way? Do fun things? I know Pauline always does something really fun on Saturdays. All right, so Pauline, watch me. The biggest problem you're having is that these lines aren't straight, right? So you've got this. So start with me. Start with one straight line, vertical, straight down the middle, not leaning this way, not leaning that way. If you're having trouble with this, you can take a straight edge, which could be a ruler or anything straight. And you can see here, I'm lining my ruler or whatever I'm using to make straight. I could use a postcard, a book, anything. See how the ruler is lined up neatly along the top edge here. It's not going that way. It's not going this way. It's lined up. That will give you a straight edge. But if you don't have a ruler, that's okay. You can use like a postcard, something like, let's see, like this. Hang on. Grab it. You stay here. Right? Look, I can use like this show postcard and do exactly the same thing. I'll line it up here. With this edge. So you want this middle line to be straight up and down, not leaning this way, not leaning that way. With my pencil. Here, wait. I set down a drawing implement and then what do I do with it? Well, here's a pencil. So, right, so I could also do this, line this up here. So that will help you make a straight line. So this first line is straight. These lines are straight, but they angle up. All right, these lines also angle up. They're straight, but they angle up a little bit. They're not straight, right? Like this one is. They diagonally move up a little bit. This is all visual spatial stuff. And here's the thing that's hard about it. And then once again, I line my postcard up at the top edge here, right? So it's straight across, and I draw a straight line down, connecting, whoops, was that actually a straight line? Ah, here we go, straight line down, right? Connecting these two, this is straight. So all your vertical lines are straight. All your horizontal lines are straight up and down. Your vertical lines are just simply straight up and down. Your horizontal lines are kind of angled. There we go. Dominique, good. But you have to do it a couple times. These look good. Good job, Sammy. I like that. Fabulous. You're right. It is harder. It is harder than it looks. You're absolutely right. And then these last lines, they're straight, but they angle this way and meet. So straight, straight, straight. These are angled, 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 angled. Once we really get into complicated perspective ideas, what you understand is always all the horizontal lines are angled up. I'm not going to explain why. It'll blow your head apart. It's better to understand why once you start having problems drawing certain things to be able to explain this. Lutz, good job. Are you proud of yourself? You should be very proud. Sammy and Lutz, how old are you two?
6. I'm 8.
Yeah. Excellent. You guys are doing great. You're exactly where you need to be. By the way, grown-ups, so are you. Molly and Makiko and Dominique, you're there too. Fabulous. So send this over to me. Practice this a couple of times, actually. Lutz, you might find that like it's a little hard to get the pencil to do exactly what you want. So practice is perfect here, right? You could do maybe 100 circles and then maybe 100 cubes, and that would help. It has to do with hand-eye coordination, right? And it just takes a while to develop it. There's no way, particularly at your age, you're learning that you're getting that thing. But anyway, you're doing great. Fabulous. Okay. Paulina Makiko, let me see your finals, and then we'll go on and talk about shading that guy. Let's see. Better. Oh, much better, Pauline. You're still leaning a little bit here. So make this a straight. Can you see that? In fact, all of your lines, they're all kind of leaning a little bit like this. So are you using my technique of using a straight edge and lining it up at the top here? So something's happening. It's not exactly lined up. Maybe
I can
you need
keep
to
practicing.
keep practicing, but also maybe stand up so that you're standing right over and looking. Because part of it, when you're sitting down and you're drawing away from you, you can't really see. But if you're standing up and looking at the paper, I'll show you like the way I'm doing this right now. Let me show you. Here, like this. So I happen to have a desk that's kind of pushed up, but if you're standing up over your paper, it's sometimes easier to see that this is lined up properly, and then that's going to give me a straight line. This is lined up properly, and that's going to give me a straight line. And this is definitely something that's worth practicing. If anyone is having trouble with this, this is definitely worth practicing.
Getting better.
Yeah, every time, right? It's good. These are visual spatial skills. Let's see here, Makiko. I know you sent yours in. Excellent. Good job, Makiko. All right, so we're going to go on to shading this. So if the light is coming from, let's say, top left again, and here is our tabletop, right? Just like our circle. And then once again, here is our wall. It's pretty dark. Kind of going around the cube. And lights, the lights coming from the top left. Let's darken the wall behind our cube. The lightest area is going to be here, right? If the light's coming from this side, the lightest side is going to be here. And it's going to be mostly light here, but slightly up here, it'll be a little bit darker. It won't be quite as, it'll be like a 2. And then it kind of just becomes light. So this side and this side, which are closest to the light, are the lightest, except that the top of the side here is slightly. And then here, this is kind of away from the light. So this is definitely your half tone. And then here's the shadow. The shadow is really fun. I think you guys are gonna like it. It comes out like this and then out like that. So there's the cast shadow, right? And that's pretty dark. If you want to, you can get a little bit lighter here. So the light coming from the left, light here, but slight at the top, just where the side turns down. It's slightly darker. Not all the way down, just at the edge here, where this edge and this edge meet. And then over here, it's definitely like a 3. It's not the darkest. And notice these edges are pretty hard. So your edges with your cube are harder than with your sphere. Let me send a picture of this over. Here. It's kind of fun, isn't it? It's like a little puzzle, a little game. We might try another cube after this, but not after this, because I'd like to try a different shape, but take your time working on this. And next week, I promise we'll draw a puffin. I so promise. I'll make sure I get it printed out before class starts. Did I send a picture over? Let me see. Yes, I sent you the picture so you can see. Good job, you guys. Let's see. That's too dark, Makiko. Make it lighter. This is exactly the same value as this, and that's yours is exactly the same value as this, and this should be lighter. Also, work on making your wall a little bit darker too. Like your shadow, that looks good. Ooh, Sammy, very nice. Fabulous line work, dude. Love it. It's fun, isn't it?
Very fun.
All right, Sammy, that's so good. I want you to do it again while we're waiting. See how far you can get, right? Before we get on to cylinders, which is a whole other thing. Cylinders are interesting. 'Cause that's like drawing a base. Cylinders have a slightly different thing. Well, is that true? Yeah, that is true. I know this is 2 lessons in a row that have been kind of like, all right, I'm taking you to serious basics, but later it will apply to everything we do. I promise we'll go to drawing more fun things. Let's see. Dominique, not bad, but yours is also too dark here. This is like a 2, this is like a 3 or a 3.5. These are not the same value. It's lighter. But I like the edge. It's very distinct, so that's good. Everything else looks great. Good job, you guys. Excellent. Pauline, good job on the vertical line. Excellent. An excellent job on the shading. Lighten this just a touch. Very good. Also, Pauline, notice your shadow. You have your shadow here, starting here.
Mm.
It actually starts here, right? Over the edge, this second edge.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, bring that out. Adjust that shape. Let's. Good job. Great dark. I love the dark you've got here. Fabulous and great work, Lutz, making this lighter. Good job. Is this fun?
I finished.
You did? Let me see.
Talking to me.
Yeah, she
Mom,
was.
can you?
You did good, Lutz. You did good. And Makiko.
Oh.
Let's see.
Can I send?
Yeah, send it in the group.
Good, Makiko. Very good. So Makiko, I'm going to work with you. I love you're totally getting like the shapes. I feel and a little bit value, but I feel like I want you to work on all these assignments, really pushing your value differentiation, right?
Mhm.
So I'm going to have you work on that. This is definitely better. But we're going to work on your mark making a little bit as we go through. Anyway, I like it. It's good. Let's go on to drawing a cylinder. Now this is a slightly more complex. Oops, sorry. Sammy, you're a machine. Great work. I hope you guys are going to take all the classes with us. Keep us grown-ups. Fabulous. Did you find anything helpful in doing it twice? Did it get easier the second time? Yeah, it's good to do it twice, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now we're going to draw a cylinder. This is a little bit more tricky. once again, we're going to start with 2 straight lines. So here I'm going to use my little postcard, lining it up with the top of the page. And I'm going to draw a straight line like that. I'm going to come over here and draw a straight line like this. And then a cylinder has a curved line like that at the top and a curved line like this at the bottom. Not like that, like this. And then a curved line around the outside like this. So that's it right around the top like that. So that might also take a little bit of practice. Notice that my mount, that the width of my top of my cylinder is very narrow. It's not like huge like that. It's kind of narrow. And if you want to, I can draw that again for you. You guys want me to draw that again? Well, let's see what you get. Let's see what you come up with. Pauline, we don't have a bottom one, just a top. I mean, although you're anticipating what's happening down there. And also, I want you to notice your lines are still going wide. We're still not getting those vertical lines.
I
So
spotted
we're
that
gonna-
through the camera actually when I was taking the photo where I
It's-
didn't see it. And
Isn't
so
it
I have
helpful?
it. Yes, so I've corrected it.
Yeah. Correct it. Send
probably
it over.
needs-
By
I was
the way,
writing correction, Pauline, repeat correcting.
Pauline, by the way, you have the most beautiful handwriting.
Oh, thank
Ugh.
you.
Stunning.
I taught myself calligraphy many years ago, so
It's
it's
beautiful.
self-taught.
So this is all the same. All right, so it's good. It is true, Pauline, that if we were drawing around the edge like this is what would be happening, but we can't see that for now. So we'll keep this here. Good job. Yeah, often you won't see the correction until you take the photograph. That looks great. It's so interesting. Makiko, great. Okay, we're just waiting for China. Do you guys live in Beijing?
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Sorry, don't wait. We're slowing things down because there's 3 of us on one phone here.
Oh, got it. Okay. Have you guys pretty
So
much
if
got
you
it?
want to go ahead, yeah.
All right. All right.
They're
Let's
coming.
talk about shading. So once again, if the light is coming from here. Oh, yes. And let's put this on a table. Once again. Okay. And then once again, let's make it fairly dark, like a 4 around the edge. You'll notice that the reason I'm working the background is that it helps kind of shape the subject, right? Which in this case is the cylinder. Now, if the light's coming from this side, which direction is the cast shadow going? I bet you, Lutzen, I bet you guys know the answer to that question, and Sammy know the answer to that question. If the light's coming from this direction, what direction is the cast shadow going? The shadow, you go here.
At the right
Other
bottom.
Yeah,
On the
exactly.
other side.
Exactly. Good job. Well done. I think the easiest way to show that is to do that. So here is the cast shadow. And then this contains both elements of the sphere and of the cube, because basically it's lighter to here, right? It's light here and it's light here. But once again, there's that little light edge that goes to about here. And then just like the sphere, right? As the cube starts, as it starts to turn away from the light, there's a midtone, and then it gets darker. And that's a softer edge. And then there's that reflected edge. So this is like a 2 again. So this will have to be, and notice that my pencil marks are kind of, they're not going straight. They're kind of angling up a little bit. Can you see that? And let me employ my eraser here, give myself that reflected edge. So you see, I'm sort of erasing the very edge, and then I'm scrubbing it in with the pencil so it's not quite so light. So it's like light, light, like a 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, kind of a dark cast shadow. It's kind of neat, isn't it? If you want to, you can make this kind of lighter, like a 2 on this side, and around the cast shadow. Usually, if the light's coming down like this, the table will be lighter than the wall, because the light's also hitting the table, right? Which is coming out and catching the light. The wall is not directly facing the light, so it's a little bit darker. Good job, Dominique. Looks good. We're in good shape. Lutz, Sammy, good. All these are good. Fabulous. I notice everybody's straight lines are getting better and better. Your straight verticals, very nice. Nice, Pauline. So all you really need to do, it's a little too dark here, right? This is mostly as light as here, as the top here. So now you just need to add back in your reflected light edge.
Sorry, I don't understand that. Can you say that again?
This is the reflected edge. It's like a tube.
Okay, yes, I
Yep,
do
just
understand.
like the sphere, right? We have a little reflected edge. Nice mark making. All right, Lutz, not bad at all. Lutz, can you make this kind of a medium and this darker? So this is all, you have this all as one, but really it kind of transitions from medium, light to medium to dark. You might be able to take your eraser and kind of erase out a little bit. And by the way, Dominique, this is exactly what we want to happen. We want all the kids to join us. Very nice. Makiko, I see that you're paying attention to your mark making. Very nice. Are you? Were you intentionally doing that? Because this is great. What I really like is you've got these kind of directionally going horizontally, right? You've got this kind of suggesting an upward slope. Super.
Thank you.
Super. You see what a difference it makes?
Mm.
Right? So this
Yeah.
is what we call the mark, right? It's like how you lay your pencil down. Now, how I do it is going to be different than the way you do it, the way Pauline does it, the way Sammy does it, the way Dominique does it, the way Lutz does it, right? We all have a way that we kind of use the pencil, but it's good to be kind of intentional because we can see the marks and we wonder why they're there. If you can see the mark, you wonder why it's there. So the mark should be helping. Nice, Sammy. Excellent. Excellent. I love the labeling. Fabulous. It is totally fabulous. Okay. So you guys want to do an open cylinder, which is like a vase or a coffee cup? Because this is really trippy. This is like total secret time, right? I'm going to show you. All right. I'm going to show you the trick for doing this. So once again, you're going to draw two straight lines and then a curved line down like a smile, right? Here. And then up, and then you're going to draw another line here to show that there's an inside shape, right? This isn't solid, but this is an inside. And then, you're just going to die. It's so cool. Hang on, I'll be right back. I spilled something. All right, so when you guys have this shape, let me know. We'll put it here in the table as usual. Here, I'll send you a picture. So you can see it. Let's see. Ooh, Dominique, nice. Beautiful. I'm starting to feel you guys get I love this. I love watching everybody start to get the feel of the pencil and the mark making. It's lovely. All right. And when you're ready, do you guys want me to show you the trick now, or do you want to get this drawn first? I'll let you get it drawn first and see everybody's working on that. Okay, Dominique, good job, Sammy. Good job, Sammy. Let's see, he's raring to go. All right, I'm going to show you how light works coming from the same direction on an open object. So, wow, it's still light here. And then medium here. Dark and reflected edge, right? It's still light here. On the inside, it's in the opposite direction. So on the inside, it's light here. And it's medium here and dark here. So it looks like this. On the inside of the cup. Can you see why? Because the light's hitting here, the inside here. By the way, the top is always light. Isn't that cool? So it's the opposite of what's happening on the outside. That's true of all cylindrical things. Coffee cups, if you look, you will see. Right here. Isn't that cool? Nice. So that's true of vases, of coffee cups, of drinking glasses, all of it. Here, I'm going to send a picture over so you can really see it. So I know Australia does daylight savings time. Do those of you in Asia wish you had daylight savings time, or is it just seem weird? The concept.
Yeah, it's annoying for us because our family is in Europe, and then when we call them, the time difference is even bigger. in
How
the
do you
winter.
call somebody in Europe? I mean, how can you call them in Europe? It's another 9 hours. Oh, I guess it would be morning, evening, right?
8 hours. Yeah, we call them
Okay.
in our evenings.
Right,
If they're not at work, it's okay.
right. Right.
Wait.
Well, I was just realizing that, okay, so Lutz, don't forget your medium tone. And Lutz, your dark, it's not on the same side. Remember, the inside, the dark is on the side that's closest to the light. You see that? It switches. On the inside, the dark is closest to the light. On the outside, the dark is away from the light. You have it on the same side. Can you help her with it, Dominique, just to help her switch it around? I like that you put a little handle on your cup, though.
So here, Simon.
Oh, no.
Does everybody understand why that is? Because if the light's coming from here, if there is a hollow to the cup, it bounces right in here. Right? It comes right in there. It doesn't just hit the top and bounce off. It goes in. So that means that the light on the inside of the cylinder is opposite to the light on the outside edge of the cylinder. Good job, Sammy. Lighten this even more. This is really light, super light. This is like a 1. So get your eraser in there and just like light. Pauline, beautiful. So just run it, take your finger, Pauline, and run your hand finger along the edge here and along the edges here. So that I like the soft lines, but I like them a little bit softer. Lovely, lovely. There you go, Lutz. Start to get there. Just make this super light, Lutz, right here, this half. Super light. Get your eraser in there. You know what you guys really need? You need this. You know what this is? It's an electric eraser. It runs by a battery, costs like $10. And I can touch it. See how I can just go through and erase? Look at this. I can erase anything just by pushing the battery, and it vibrates. See that? Fabulous tool. It's an absolutely fabulous tool. Really helps with erasing. Everybody wants to talk to me about pencil type and paper type, and I'm like, don't even worry about the pencil and the paper. What you really want is the electric eraser. This is what you want. It is an incredible. Oh, Dominique, there you go. Very nice. Isn't that trippy? So it's like a kind of like alternates. So yeah, why doesn't everybody add on a handle if you want to? Make it into a coffee cup or a vase. In fact, now I'd like you to draw a subject, any subject, your last assignment for the day. You guys are going to pick one of these shapes. Let's see if I can put them all up here. What happened to my other one? Where did you go? You're going to pick one of these shapes and turn it into a more complicated subject. So this could become an orange or a ball, or you could draw this as a coffee cup and add a handle or a vase. Maybe change the shape a little bit. Take one of these shapes and turn it into an object which is lit from the left. So the easiest thing might be to put a handle on one of these. But I want you to draw it again. Do a separate drawing using one of these shapes. But you could also, I don't know, you could do a house or a present. You know, you could draw a ribbon. Draw it, so turn it into a subject of some kind. Here, you could draw this. I'm doing this in orange Sharpie so you can really see it. The navel orange. This could be a little house. But lit from the top left. Oh, beautiful. And that'll be our last assignment. Good job, you guys. Come here, sweetheart. All right. Let's see.
Yeah, I go to
Nice.
roll, sorry.
Oh, okay. You've got it. This looks fabulous. Love it.
Yeah. I got to
We
go
will
now.
see you next week.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, see you.
Great
Bye.
work. Great work. Bye. I like your coffee cup. You did it. Here we go. Come here. Here's a little stray kitty, guys. Look at her. He's so cute. He's just ridiculous, isn't he? He's so cute. Pauline, do you have cats? Dominique, do you guys have cats?
Eh,
We
Yeah.
don't. We have no pets.
No
which
pets?
The kids are lobbying for. They're lobbying.
This one is kind of ridiculous. He, like up till a couple months ago, he wouldn't let me touch him. He was
Ah.
completely feral. And now he's just like, I must be petted and hugged. Isn't he funny? Yes.
Nice color.
Yeah, he's a good boy. Oh, hello,
Ask
hello.
the teacher how come they can do so.
What's that?
Okay, we're not. Okay, we're going back on mute.
We're going back on mute. Oh, okay. There we go. Has this lesson been helpful at all? Anybody found this helpful?
Yes, for
It's
sure.
it's interesting, isn't it? Like even these little things that we don't really think about.
Finger.
Very.
Yeah, very helpful. Good. Are you gonna come back next week? Good.
Mine's more like a tankard because the lines are skewed.
That works. I'll accept it.
I didn't set out to draw a tankard.
There we go. Let's see. Oh yeah, there you go. Like one of those Moscow Mule cups or something
Yeah,
that's all
yeah.
hammered like in. Yeah, if you curve it a little bit this way. Fabulous.
I'll make sure I have a ruler.
Yeah. It's funny. It's not just a ruler though, isn't it? It's like, oh my God, I have to like, it's, you have to line it up right. And it's all of this stuff is like hands. It's like we have a concept of what we need to do, but then we've got to get our hand in the tool to do it.
Yes.
That is like a harder thing than you think. It's if you can recall the days, Pauline, when you were practicing that calligraphy, it's like that, right? It's like that. I know. Jesus, you're just a little munga today.
Okay, final touch.
Let's see. Did you put a little lime in it or something?
My signature.
Oh, excellent.
No, just kidding.
Fabulous. All right, kids, I want you to show us. Let's see. I'm going to remove the spotlights here so everybody is, yes. No. All right, everybody, hold up your best drawing of the day. Hold it up. Yeah. Oh, a Rubik's Cube. Fabulous.
Brilliant.
You guys, that's great. Good job, Sammy. I like how he's labeling all his halftones, his highlights, his like full, his core shadow. That's good, Sammy. It's good to remember that stuff. It's really, really good. Dominique, let's see yours. And Lutz, let's see yours. She's like, I don't know. I'm working on mine. I'm working on mine right now. I'm fast. I'm
concentration
quickly
going on.
doing it. I'll wait. We'll wait. Oh, that's beautiful. Love it.
Oh,
I love it.
Look at the plant.
Yeah,
Finished.
fabulous. All right. So I think we are pretty much done. That's like how it's going. Sammy and Lutz, I'm so glad you joined us, and you should come back to every class. This is a great class for grown-ups, but also for kids. So you are totally welcome.
If you guys, if the rest of the class is okay with that, then I'm
Oh.
sure they would love.
Right?
Love it.
Yeah, you guys bring us ideas. Yeah. It's totally, these classes are totally
Okay.
designed for that purpose, so that families can do it together, and kids and I think kids and adults are strangely at kind of similar places when it comes to this, right? Like we've kind of most of us stopped learning to draw around the age of 8.
Oh,
So, right, like
Right.
like developmentally, we stopped developing around that time. So we're kind of where our kids are. And that's why the book Drawing with Kids is such a fabulous book. If you can get your hands on Drawing with Kids, it's like super helpful, because Dominique, it's got a lot of exercises you can do, and it'll walk you through how to do them, but you can do it with the kids. Because it kind of is designing to help you understand it as you're doing it with the kids. So you're learning to draw with the kids, but yeah, anyway. So great work today. Oh, I
Aw,
love
that's
that. I think you should color it in. Great work today, everybody. We'll see you next week. And next week, I promise we will do a
Okay.
puffin.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See ya,
Good to see
folks.
everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.